bring you the action from the undercard at London Arena tonight and the fight for the vacant European super middleweight title, this featuring the young British champion Dean Francis. Another chance for him to take a step up toward the big time. Against him, the veteran, very experienced, very durable Frenchman Fredrick Seillier. Here's the best of the action. We join it in the 4th round.
Well, you'd hardly believe it. Seillier's only been in for the 3 rounds that we've had. He looks like he's been in a 12-round war already.
The good news for Francis, I mean, Seillier was trying in that round. He was trying to turn the tide a little bit. He was looking for a big round to stop the rot. Francis met him and didn't give it to him. Lovely little right hand again. So some of these shots from Francis are real thumping shots, Simon, and they tend to slow down your thinking. It kind of put a little cloud over you. You just can't seem to get moving, and that's the look that Seillier has at the moment, that kind of confused look. He's not seeing the punches coming, and they're a fair bit of power when they land.
Certainly durable is Seillier.
Yeah, and sooner or later, really, we have to expect a big attack from Seillier. I mean, he is strong, he is tough. You know, he's boxed at world level and several times at European level, so you've got to look for him to come at Francis at some stage. So Francis wants to be good and strong and careful when that happens. No wasted movements in what Francis has done tonight. Everything nice and compact and controlled.
Good left to the top of the head. But again, it forces Seillier to cover up.
At times Francis is making Seillier look fairly ordinary, but I mean, the man's a quality fighter. He's been boxing at a decent level for a long time.
Yes, only a couple of years ago he was in with a world title shot for Frankie Lyles in Miami for the WBA title. Stopped in 6. Good shot there, the right. And he wobbled and took another. And he does take them well, but there are more and more of them coming in. Good counter, though, from Seillier this time. My word, he does take a punch.
Yeah, well, as I say, as long as Seillier's in there, he's going to be dangerous. And Francis has to remember that.
So Dean Francis extending his lead and extending his dominance over Seillier, who last year also was in a world title fight. Back earlier this year against Steve Collins, went down in 5 there. There's the stats so far, overwhelmingly in Francis's favour. And piling on the power throughout the round.
Yep, everything controlled, that's the main thing, and that's what he wants to keep here. This fellow, we have to remember, it doesn't look so at the moment, but he's fairly dangerous. He's strong, and if you allow him to come forward, he'll give you problems. Francis has not allowed that. And he really hasn't taken a solid punch in the 4 completed rounds, Francis. Excellent boxing.
Round 5.
And at this stage, you start to look at Seillier and wonder if the accumulative effect of the work that Francis has put in is going to have some kind of sway.
Well, the fact that Seillier is still thinking mainly defensive, I mean, he's not really trying to set up any attacks, is good news for Francis. He's doing what I was hoping he could do, get some rounds in the bank, but not using up too much steam. Because if this fight does go to the later rounds, Seillier is very strong and he could start giving Francis problems then. all Seillier needs is a good round, Simon, just to give him that little bit of confidence, and then he'll start with all pistons firing, but at the moment it hasn't happened. Oh, lovely punching again.
Yes, Francis looks thoroughly in control of the fight and in control of himself.
Yeah, but times it's like a sparring session. I mean, no panic, no urgency, just going through the moves as though he was practicing in front of the mirror.
Yes, good start for Seillier came in.
So he's just drawing the leads now. Really good stuff from Francis. You couldn't really hope for anything better here, just doing the job perfectly. See, Seillier is not even pressurising Francis, so he's doing everything at his own pace, and he looks as though he can go on all night doing this. Seillier is the one who has to come up with something better. It's good also that Francis hasn't started winding up big shots. He's quite happy with what's happening. He's just getting rounds in the bank and he's pleased about it. He's not looking to produce any heroics yet.
You see Seillier manoeuvring himself to position just about to launch, and every time he does, he gets caught by something from Francis.
That's it, can't match the sharpness of Francis. I mean, it's a pity some of the crowd at the moment are becoming a little bit restless. But the people who know their boxing will be appreciating exactly what Francis is doing here.
Another inclusive round. Francis moves further in front. Won the Intercontinental title some 14 months ago, beating Rolando Torres in Bristol. And then defended it with a 7th round stoppage of Cornelius Carr in March. That was a step up. Good fighter, Cornelius Carr.
See, that's the kind of things that have given Francis the confidence that he's shown tonight. A couple of good wins. He's forgotten all about the loss, and now we're seeing real quality stuff here. Everything controlled. I mean, no great excitement or drama as yet, but as I say, people who enjoy their boxing see a job well done. That's what they're seeing here.
Corner and second. Second up. Round
Rocco giving Seillier the encouragement. So moving towards the halfway stage of this fight for the vacant super middleweight championship of Europe. And it's Dean Francis making the early running here.
You have to expect Seillier to come at him now. Approaching the halfway stage, everything's going against him. He has to change what's happening here.
The corner of Seillier now giving him real encouragement to come in. That's not what he needs, the right counter. But he is driving forward.
Yep, we knew it was going to happen, Simon, because nothing was working for Seillier, so he's going to have to try and draw Francis into a brawl. And this is where Francis needs the strength and the concentration, not to start making mistakes, not to become ragged, because it can get a little bit tough for a couple of rounds here. He's not going to get it all his own way now. Seillier is going to come at him.
This is the crux of the fight right here now. Seillier doesn't look like he's been able to maintain momentum. He's stock still again. Good shot from Francis, and that rocks Seillier's head back.
Francis doesn't want to stand trading with him, but he wants to bang him good and solid any chance he gets. It's just don't let him build confidence here. That's good, that's exactly it.
This is a terrific spell from Francis. Seillier trying to put on the pressure. He's just not able to sustain it.
This is the best news we've seen so far for Francis, because really Seillier tried to change things. He tried to come at Francis, and there goes the body shot. Just again, exactly what he needs at this stage. Just when the pace is beginning to tell, bang into the body. Well, that looks like the best that Seillier can produce. You can expect that to come another couple of times as the fight goes on. Here he comes again. And he's a tough, proud man. Sooner or later, he's going to give it what he has left.
Because he looked good for about 15 seconds and then started to take more punishment.
Yeah, because I think the reason Francis come back with better shots, he wasn't allowed to sustain it. Well, that was Seillier's best round, and I still give it to Francis. So, bad news for Seillier, things looking good for Francis.
And there looks to be a cut in between the eyes, as well as one over the left eye. You can see the one in the corner. That's the one they're working on. But unless I'm mistaken, there's a cut just on the top there, in between the eyes. It was a bad round for him, as you say. It was his best round so far, and he lost it.
Yep, that's the best work he's come out with. He tried to turn the tide. He tried to get himself into control a little bit. Francis met him head on. That's the best round of the fight so far. Seillier's best work, but for me, not enough. The quality shots, quality moves still coming from Francis.
So those are the punches thrown so far through the half distance of this fight. And it's overwhelming for Francis.
Round 7.
Halfway stage in this fight for the vacant super middleweight title. Dean Francis of Basingstoke putting in a really classy performance so far against the man from Toulon, Fredrick Seillier. Again he comes forward.
Seillier has never quit, Simon. He's never been one to quit, so he's going to have a go, and this looks like this may be it now. He's wasting his time standing off. He's going to have to try and draw Francis into a brawl. And this looks like being it now.
Looks like there might be a nick over Francis's left eye, on the side of the eye. Not serious. I think there is a nick there.
Yep, I can see some blood. I wasn't sure if it came from the gloves of Seillier, from his own cut, or if he's been damaged. I don't see any damages yet. Now, Francis will not be allowed to work at his own pace probably from now on in. So this is when things get a little bit tough, and this is when you're happy you didn't exert yourself in the first few rounds. Yep, he is cut.
Yes, it's on the left eyebrow.
These are solid shots. These are awkward shots to handle coming from Seillier now.
But if you look at the two faces, there's no comparison. Seillier looking a bit of a horror picture at the moment.
I'd like a good look at the cut, because I didn't see blood actually dripping from Francis's injury. And if blood's dripping rather than running, it's not a good idea. It sometimes means it's a little bit deep and it hasn't started flowing yet. Hopefully not. Well, we knew Seillier was going to come up, Simon, and here it comes. And he's getting through too. Things are going to start getting a little bit tougher now for Mr. Francis.
Yes, blood now streaming down, but luckily it's not going into his eye. It's going down the side of the face, down the cheek.
Well, it's not a horror cut, because if it was a bad cut, we'd be seeing it from now, so hopefully just a little nick.
But he is one hard hombre, is Fredrick Seillier. He's taken the mother and the father of hiding here, and he's still coming forward. Seillier looking really banged up. Cut over the left eye and on the bridge of the nose. And there's another terrific left hook.
Francis is fighting to keep his composure. It's worked so well so far. He doesn't want to get involved when things are working well. He knows he's well in front here, and he's really striving to keep his composure in this round. Done well, but this is certainly the best round Seillier has had. I'm nicking this one towards Seillier. A lot of good work.
Excellent round. Tough for me to differentiate between the two. Jim's giving it to Seillier, and Chris Senegal just tending to that cut over the left eye of Dean Francis. But he knows now he's in for a real battle over these last 5 rounds.
Well, this is where you have to show the championship quality, Simon. He had things pretty much his own way for the first 4 or 5 rounds. Seillier struggling, he realises he has to do something, and he's doing it now. He's a big, strong, awkward fellow. He's going to come at Francis now.
And there's feverish activity in that corner on the various injuries. And he's been in the top level for the last 5 years.
Round 8.
So can Seillier maintain this improvement?
Francis is playing a little bit with these punches. He wants to get the snap back. Don't throw punches just for the sake of throwing them. Take your time and get that snap back in again, because he's going to have to stop this fellow in his tracks, and he's not going to do that with light punches. That's more like it. Get some snap into the shots. This is going to turn into a hard next work now for Dean Francis.
Good shot there, and he stopped him just what he said he should do. Seillier coming in for a big assault, stopped in his tracks, and Francis landing 3 big right hands just at the right time.
Exactly. He's showing the qualities that we have to see. He's had a tough round. He's feeling the pace. He knows it's going to be a tough fight from here on in, and he's responding well.
Seillier forcing him to raise the pace. Mouth wide open, gaping as if he's sucking in air. It's been a pretty frenetic fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, Francis was allowed to work at his own pace for a lot of the fight, but that's all changed suddenly. And it's amazing what a couple of tough rounds can do to the old lungs. They're both feeling the pace now. This is what the fight is going to be like now, Simon, as long as it lasts, I reckon. Seillier's proud, he's never quit before. And he wants this title, so he's going to do all he can now to win that. The only way he can do that is by drawing Francis into a brawl. Good shots.
Francis is looking tired, but every time he feels tired, he just has to have a look at the face of the man in front of him and know that he must be feeling it too.
Yep, and it's nice to know at this stage that you've got so many rounds up your sleeve. And he knows he was winning those rounds. Oh, lovely right hand. Not too quick to follow up. I don't know, I think I would like to have seen him follow that one a little bit quicker. In the later stages of the fight, the punch resistance is not as good as it was. I'd like to have seen him follow that one up. Still, no harm done, and that's the main thing.
But still streaming down the cheek of Francis, but not in his eye, and it doesn't look a difficult cut. And bad though Seillier looks, he's not in danger of being stopped either.
This is the hard round. Quality punches coming from Francis. Well, the crowd who were becoming a little bit restless a couple of rounds ago, no sign of that now. They're enjoying this.
This is a cracking encounter. Another good right.
It was a slip that caused the to actually fall, but I tell you, a punch, I think, had something to do with it. Nice to see Francis get his act back together again. Score that one to Francis.
Big round for Francis, and maybe a bit of tiredness coming in to play, as you say. The punch and the tiredness, as well as taking him off balance for Seillier to go down there. And you can see he really has been through it, but what a gutsy customer he is.
See, he's had to force everything, so he's not lasting the pace so well. It's a good little right hand, and you saw the legs giving a little twist. Right, the good solid shots again coming from Francis. Bang, that's a good solid right hand. Now that you can see, bang, the punch landed, and you can see the punch certainly had something to do with that. The referee could have called that a knockdown if he had so desired. Without the punch, the slip wouldn't have occurred.
Round 9.
Loads of grease over Dean Francis' left eye. I would think that the referee, Bob Logis, will have a look at that. But obviously they're doing all they can to protect it, but he knocks it away with his own left. Francis well on top here, but given all the problems he needs by Seillier.
Trying to draw him in, I think, hoping to a right-hand counter he's looking for here. He's trying to draw Francis in. Francis still trying to control things, still trying to command the centre of the ring, not being backed up. This is good stuff from Francis. I mean, you could have expected a fighter with a points lead. Things get tough, maybe look for a couple of cushy rounds, just to coast a little bit, knowing you can stand that. But thankfully, Francis has not done that. Still holding the centre of the ring. Seillier not getting so many punches off, Simon. I think signs that Francis may be lasting the pace better than he is.
Moving into uncharted territory, Dean Francis, in this 9th round. You can see he's been training really hard for this. He knew Seillier would be a durable opponent, difficult to knock over, and he's proving just that.
Really, we've seen a lot of precision punches from Francis tonight. Very, very accurate. Hasn't wasted too many moves, hasn't wasted too many punches. Really quality stuff.
Getting home with those rights in the corner. The corner really... No, it's going to be stopped. Bob Logis has seen enough. They don't like it. The French corner don't like it, particularly Seillier. But I have to say, it increasingly looked like there was going to be only one winner. Do you think it's a little premature?
Well, it's easy for me to sit at ringside, Simon. I'm not taking the punches. I'm sure the referee had a fair idea of the scoring. He probably knew pretty much the same as I'm scoring it. Seillier was well out of it. He wasn't really getting himself back into the fight. He was taking punches without coming back with too much. It's actually nice to see a referee who's not who doesn't want to show how brave he is. I mean, that was a good refereeing decision. Seillier, nothing to be gained by leaving him. Even if he had done the 12 rounds, he was taking unnecessary punishment. And you can see here, all the control was being picked off. Now, that was a real solid shot. And Seillier, for the whole of that round, had done virtually nothing.
Yes, it was the first left hook that did it.
Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, Seillier not really getting many punches off, that Francis was lasting the pace better than he was. I'd said that earlier in the round. So I think we'll back the referee up. Good decision. It's
a humane decision, and what a year 1997 is being for Dean Francis. British champion and now European champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes, 17 seconds of the 9th round, the referee, Mr. Bob Logis, stops the contest. Fredrick Seillier in no position to continue. The winner and new super middleweight champion of Europe, Dean Francis.
19 wins out of 20 fights. He's the British and now the European champion. Things looking better and better. And what will 1988 hold for Dean Francis?
Congratulations, that was a terrific performance. Thank you. It was hard. It was hard. It was tougher than I expected. Well, I was expecting a tough fight, but that was tough. I could have prepared myself a bit better, I thought, but I know next time.
There seemed to be a much more measured performance about you, also in the Starry fight. You didn't get too excited when you were getting your success. You looked well within yourself.
I mean, I try and keep cool. I mean, that's the name of the game. Keep you cool and you'll get there in the end. There's no point rushing things. I mean, look at my career. I haven't been rushing things to get here, have I? Done it the hard way, and I'm proud of that, so taking my time is part of my plan.
But there's a dramatic improvement there's been this year. Can you put that down to?
My loss. Even though that was a couple of years ago, my loss taught me a lot. And it's just age as well. I'm maturing mentally, physically, so I'm more aware of what I'm capable of. And as I said, I know I want to get there, so I just take my time.
He's 23 years of age.